This week, we're going to focus on communicating information in the research process. After you've collected information, you've processed the information, figured out what it means, we need to communicate it to others, typically in a written report or in an oral presentation, which will be the focus of our material this week. But I want to emphasize that communicating clearly is difficult. It is really difficult. We are so different from the people that we're trying to communicate with that what seems clear in our mind isn't clear when other people see it or hear it. I think about my wife and I. My wife and I, we've been married for 35 years, but we're really different from each other. Personality-wise, we're very different from each other. Culturally, we're fairly similar, but she's from New York, I'm from Los Angeles, and after 35 years of marriage, we're getting pretty good at communicating and understanding each other, but still we make mistakes and misinterpret each other occasionally, and definitely we need to put a lot of effort into the process. Normally, when we communicate with other individuals, we get lots of feedback. We hear them say something and we say, oh, is this what you mean? Or I understand that you're saying this, and they say almost, and they correct it, and we go back and forth, and I explain what I mean and stuff. And this feedback loop helps correct what we're doing. Now, in written research, you can't do that. You can't write something, have somebody read it and say, what did you understand, and then correct it. No, when you write somebody and send it to somebody, you only get one shot. So that's why you've got to put so much effort in, especially into written communication, because you won't find out how people are interpreting it until it's too late, if ever. But a process that occurs, that's a principle that applies to both interpersonal communication and written communication, is in James 1:19. The Apostle James said, let every person be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. So when I'm with a person that I care about, a person I want to communicate with, I need to put the emphasis on listening and understanding, and be quick to listen, but slow to speak. It's not so much, I don't need to, my priority should not be trying to get in everything that I can, but rather to understand what the other person is saying. And I should especially be slow to anger, because anger destroys relationships. And so much of our anger comes from misunderstanding. So this principle of being quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger obviously works really well on interpersonal relationships. But in a sense, especially the quick to listen, slow to speak, works well in written communication also. When I write something down, I need to think, ooh, how is that person going to understand it? What are they going to hear? And I've got to think it through and look at it from different perspectives. And then rather than saying, okay, well, that's good, I need to rewrite it. I need to be slow to speak, slow to write, writing and rewriting it until I am as sure as I possibly can that I am being very clear and that it'll have the impact on the reader that I want it to have. Now, hopefully what I'm writing is not going to make people angry, so I don't have to worry or it's not going to make me angry, or it's not going to make them angry. So that slow to anger part might not be relevant for written communication, but that quick to listen, slow to speak can very well be applied to written communication.